Hey everyone, welcome back to Strictly Casual. We have episode 4 of Obi Wan released just a couple days ago, so we're going to be breaking it down. This episode had a lot of interesting themes and a lot of good moments in it. Let's go ahead and start off. Vince, what were some ideas that you had for this?
No, I got to see this like late Wednesday night, so it had already been out for, I don't know, 20 hours, which by internet time, you're way too late if you're about 20 hours too late to watching one of these things.
Yeah.
And people were complaining like, oh, this is probably the worst episode, like super slow, that kind of thing and all that. So I went into it being like, okay, we might have fallen in the trap of like, this might not be the best episode. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was such a great episode. I guess my only like overall complaint about it is like, maybe it doesn't move the story super far in like the 6 episodes that we get, like maybe in the long run. I feel like with 6 episodes, every episode should be like a giant jump of like what we should in the story. And maybe this didn't get too crazy far, but I loved it. I really loved this episode. It has so many great moments. What did you think?
Yeah, there was a lot of world building, I think, for Obi Wan being inside the Inquisitor's palace. There's a lot of kind of lore being built inside there. I think it had a lot of themes of Rogue One, which I really enjoy that film, kind of the infiltration of the light trying to, get inside the dark side and try and be, with costumes and trying to disguise themselves. That's always just such a fun time. And Obi-Wan got to shine. He had some good moments that he got to shine. And I think him and Leia's relationship was really, really some good moments, but we'll dive into it. I guess, what's your first part that you want to get to?
My first part, I mean, the whole beginning of the episode is very interesting. I think that... I don't know this lady's name, but the lady that saves them, she's the one from Game of Thrones.
I think
saves Obi Wan.
Tala, I believe, yeah.
I like meeting the guy with the beard, saying that he was in love with someone that was a Jedi, and the Inquisitor killed his, I don't know, whatever, his partner.
What if it's Reva? I'm already saying, like, what if it's Reva? But
that would be crazy. I don't think they would do that. Though.
No, yeah, no, I know.
I think it's more just like saying that he has a hard time trying to help Obi-Wan when he knows there's no hope in it. And so I really liked that. I did find his switch to like, okay, fine, I'll help you. Like I was like, oh, okay. I guess. But I mean, I like the whole schematic table where they're looking over it in like 7 minutes. Just cool. We get to go to the Inquisitor's place, bro. Like that's where this episode takes place. And guess where we saw this first? Jedi Fallen Order, people.
Yeah, I was gonna guess. I didn't realize that because I didn't get to that part in the game. But
sorry, big spoilers.
No,
big spoilers.
It's okay, but I know like that's it, huh?
The places that Obi-Wan fights are the same places that Cal Kestis fights, and like it's very similar. Like in this show, you know how the glass breaks at one point and the water comes rushing in. That totally happens in the game. When
I saw that Vader. Clip. Yeah, I was like, you would think either Cal Kestis or from Obi-Wan they would learn to reinforce their glass.
Right, exactly. They've had 2 big breaches now.
Yeah.
I thought the tactics that Reva used for Leia in like the kind of interrogation was great, and I thought Leia was so good in this episode. It was she's totally her mom. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Every time I see her, I'm always like, she's such a cute little girl, and I think you could see that she's acting, she's trying her best, but you feel kind of sad because she's when she's acting scared, you're like, oh, this little girl's really scared. Yeah, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan's like, she's only 10. Like, I'm not leaving a 10-year-old in the Inquisitor Palace or something, whatever he says. So I thought that was interesting. The whole infiltration part, he swims underground, gets up in there. Another interesting point I want to point out is the droid. Reva taking Leia's droid and said, I had a droid once and stuff too. Like, I want to know Reva's background. Like, are we just going to get it in the next episode where we know what Reva's from, or
maybe next episode, and then episode 6 is they call back to that. But 100% after she said I had a droid when I was younger too, and I was scared when I was younger, 100% she was one of the Jedis during Order 66. Like I think it's almost guaranteed. I mean, it might not happen, but I'm saying, like, for me, my thoughts, I was like, the fact that she's like, I was young, and I was like, they showed little kids, like, it's kind of obvious now, I think, that she was one of the Jedis, and I mean, she probably lost faith because she's like, hey, y'all were supposed to protect us and you failed, Yeah,
or something else happened too. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like they're going to add something else.
They could make it intense where, how she knows Anakin's Vader? Maybe she was with the younglings in that room, and as Anakin was slicing down all those kids, she was hiding. And so she's like, I just witnessed a Jedi Master, my master, Anakin Skywalker, kill these kids, my friends. Like,
that would be a really great scene to have Hayden Christensen come back into. Because I feel like they're going to give Hayden Christensen more FaceTime in this, which means more flashbacks, because they wouldn't just have him as Vader,
Absolutely. I guess I'll move on to, at 1950 right here, we have the Jedis are
Oh my
being
god, I
held
forgot about this.
as like sarcophaguses. You know what I mean? As trophies in the palace,
Dude,
and we have some callbacks to some Jedi, some like Clone Wars, Rebels, stuff like that. I saw some Easter eggs online about who these people were, but pretty crazy that these are like they're just keeping them here as
yeah.
trophies, and it's horrible. You know, poor
I actually, like,
guys.
sat up when this happened. I was like, "Whoa, like, this is crazy.
Mhm.
This is insane."
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Um,
I just paused on a kid, literally the kid.
yeah, the
Like
youngling,
that's
one of the younglings.
insane. But yeah, it's pretty horrible. But you're also kind of looking like, oh, who's Jedi? Who's there? Who's there? Is Mace Windu there? Is
Right,
this guy there?
I was gonna be I was hoping they would show, like, an iconic character from the prequels, like, maybe
Yeah.
someone at the round table or something. Not the round table, but, you know,
No,
the
yeah. Mhm.
high area. But I'm kinda glad they didn't. There's so many Jedi out there, and that's kind of the vibe, is, like,
Yeah.
there's so many Jedi that were hunted,
Preachers,
so many
people.
people lost stuff. We don't need to see characters that we've already seen before.
I think
Um,
someone was like, oh, it's the lady from Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm like, I don't really see that.
no,
The main
it's
older
not.
lady. Like, yeah, no, I don't see that.
Could be,
Um,
maybe. But that
what's
brings us perfectly to
mhm.
2152, where Obi Wan has this little lightsaber fight in the dark with these two
Yes.
clones, and I thought that fight was awesome. It was so freaking cool. Saves Leia right there.
Mhm.
Just awesome scene. Lighting was so sick.
Yeah, I saw some mirroring to this to the Starkiller game, the Star Wars video game, the old one with Starkiller. What was
Oh
that one?
yeah,
There was
yes,
some
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed. Yeah, there was a couple like mimics too when he was in the darkness using the Force like that. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
great to see Obi-Wan using the saber, and you know he's getting back at it. He's trying to use the Force more. In the beginning of the episode, you see
yeah,
him trying, and he's trying to hone in his senses. So it's sad, but it's also like very interesting. It's like, wow, you
right.
lost it, but you're getting it back.
It's hype.
Um,
It's hype.
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess my next final part is, of course, they kind of go through the water. They have the battle with the cage. I mean, with the hallway. The glass breaks. But the interesting thing is when Vader finally confronts Reva, he pulls up and he is frightening, dude. He is
Yeah,
so terrifying. He force chokes her, says, "You know what would happen if you failed," and I was like, "Yo, that feels like Hayden Christensen, like the
it
walk,
was. Yeah, it was
like."
very like swagger walk. Yeah.
Like that's what's so crazy about it. But yeah,
I
Vader.
got more. I got more to say before that too.
Okay,
Before we
okay.
wrap that episode, but
Um yeah.
like for me, another part was like 24:30 ish when Obi-Wan is using his lightsaber against the clones, like in the hallway type
Mhm.
deal.
Mhm.
And at the very end, at like 24:32 ish,
Mhm.
he whips his lightsaber around like and then holds it and does his
Oh yeah.
stance.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's dude, right out of Attack of the Clones, bro. Right out of Attack of the Clones.
Whoa.
Like the same thing. So I just thought that was so sick. Like that was a moment I absolutely loved. A great callback. Might even be the thumbnail of this
No, yeah.
video.
It
We'll
it
see.
was so cool because I was like, there's the Obi and he spin. Like he's doing an Obi,
Oh,
the Obi
it
part of the
just
spin.
felt good to
Mhm.
see, dude. I was like, oh yeah, he still got it, baby. Still got it.
Yeah, seeing him
Um,
with the clothes and the saber color is just like, man, it's beautiful.
and I had a question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Um, what's her name? I forgot her name again.
Reva?
No,
Or
not
Tala,
Reva.
Tala.
Tala. When Tala is talking to Reva,
Mhm.
and she has this whole speech. She's like, "Oh, I really was a spy," like that kind of thing. Like, obviously, she's
Oh.
just saying that to convince Reva that
Mhm.
she's like an imperial spy, like working with them. But
Mhm.
she's with the Republic.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like, are you asking if it's true or not?
I don't really know. I don't understand her motivation yet.
Like here's the thing, since she is with the Empire and that she's like kind of conformed, I believe that she was a spy for the Empire in the Resistance side, but as she saw the kind of the hideouts
Yeah,
and the safe houses, she kind of turned there, and so she's like, I can work this and use this. So she's on the good
yeah,
side, but now she goes back to the Empire, she's like, I'm a spy, and it's like, yeah, I literally am a spy for y'all.
right.
But I think
I
that would make sense, you know.
It was an interesting conversation. I kind of like that.
Yeah, there's some
Um,
good writing. I was like, okay, this is like Reva too, like more and more. I'm just loving Reva because I'm like,
yeah, Reva's
she
great.
has so much like attitude and personality. I'm like, this is great. She's not just a flat, weird, like boring character. She's
No,
like,
yeah, Reva's
it's the
dope.
shine.
Like two more things.
Okay, let's hear it.
Leia holding Obi-Wan's hand at the very end, like
Yeah.
32 minutes
Yep,
in.
that was mine
Such a
too, dude.
sweet moment, dude.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man, great. And then the camera pans down into Lola, the robot, and
Yeah,
it blinks red.
the
And so
tracker.
the tracker's got to be on Lola, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because she had the robot and she said wherever she goes, it will go. So I'm like, man,
Yep.
that's kind of sad. But yeah, we got the light there. Yeah, the Leia and Obi-Wan, I think it's really cool that it adds more now to the prequel trilogy because of how Leia trusts Obi Wan, and she has an admiration for him. It's like, hey, come save me, you know, like I need help.
Also, I saw this on Twitter. I don't know why I never made the connection that Leia names her son Ben Solo.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, and that must be after Obi Wan.
hmm Yeah, I realized that, and I think it adds more to this show. I realized,
Mhm.
well, because I knew that it was like, oh, Ben Kenobi, but I didn't really
Yeah, I
understand
never
the gravity
really.
of it. I was just like, oh, okay. But
Well,
this
not
whole,
Ben. Yeah, he's Ben Kenobi, and then her son's Ben Solo.
no, I know. I'm saying like, yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, she named him Ben because of Ben Kenobi, and I was like, I never knew. I was just like, oh, it's just kind of a for Luke, for her
yeah.
brother's master. But now there's so much
Yeah.
gravity to that, She actually
Pretty interesting.
spent time with him. But yeah, Rev was great. And then my last little detail, the
Yep.
ships that came in were the ones from Hoth, the Hoth
Hoth, oh
battle,
yeah,
dude. Those are
yeah, yeah.
awesome. I was like, those are great.
Mhm.
Little cameo of those. But yeah, there was death, there's sadness because they're soldiers, and that's just kind of the Star Wars world,
That was very sad.
People come
Yeah,
and go. But yeah,
yeah,
great episode. I mean, Vader was kind of the, like you bring in Vader in this one, it's always good. So I'm looking forward to where they kind of go with this.
yeah. I don't know.
Conclusion,
It's
right?
like I'm assuming they're gonna fight again, Vader and Obi Wan.
Yeah, probably.
I
He's
don't think we're gonna get Clone
pissed.
Wars flashbacks.
No, yeah, it's probably not gonna
Yeah.
happen. But maybe in the start of like episode 6, and that kind of like is like that's the premise to
Yeah.
the final fight, where it's like look at them shining,
Maybe.
and then the logo hits. I don't
That'd be
know.
tight.
Mhm.
Well, here's what I'm a little worried about too. I think Reva could beat Obi Wan in a fight here, and so like I don't know. They're gonna have to do some clever way to like
Yeah, Reva has to
do
be
something.
occupied. She got to be occupied.
Yeah, or something.
Maybe
I don't
she's,
know. It'll be
who
interesting.
she's fighting?
Who?
Cal Kestis, baby.
No, it would be at this point. It's
No,
too much of a shoe-in.
it's
You
too
know,
much. Yeah,
it's
it'd
not
be
gonna
crazy.
happen.
Yeah.
Not gonna
But
happen.
that's it for me. Lots of great scenes. You can wrap us up here.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching episode 4 breakdown. We appreciate you guys. And today's Summer Games Fest. So if you're watching this right when it uploads, we're gonna be live right here on the channel.
Mhm.
If you're watching this a couple days later, we got a lot of cool stuff coming. We're gonna do the rest of the episodes, Obi-Wan, and a lot more on your favorite TV shows and games. Stick with us on Strictly Casual. Peace out, guys.